When people think of the computer, they usually think of a modern-day computer. But a computer is considered a device that can be instructed to carry out an arbitrary set of arithmetic or logical operations automatically. Therefore, based off the definition of a computer, computers have been around for much longer than people think. In fact, Blaise Pascal is usually credited for building the first digital computer in 1642. It added numbers entered with dials and was made to help his father, a tax collector. The earliest form of the computer originated during World War II. This form of computer, however, was extremely large and did not look anything like the smaller computers of today. The start of World War II produced a large need for computer capacity, especially for the military. New weapons were made for which trajectory tables and other essential data were needed. In 1942, John P. Eckert, John W. Mauchly, and their associates at the Moore School of Electrical Engineering of the University of Pennsylvania decided to build a high-speed electronic computer to do the job. This machine became known as the ENIAC, Electronic Numerical Integrator and a Calculator. It took up to 1,800 square feet of room. One of the first advances for architectural use of computers was in 1963 at the Spring Joint Computer Conference. Timothy Johnson and Ivan Sutherland announced their development of Sketchpad. That program made it possible for architectural designers to input pictorial data into a computer by drawing on an electronic tablet. Computer conferences were just one step of many ways that people tried to get the word out about advances of a computer. Another method was writing articles. Articles linking computers with architecture began appearing in architectural journals and trade magazines. Predictions ranged from computer takeover and subsequent dehumanization of architecture to an office where the computer would be the most powerful servant of the architect, revealing him all of the tedious tasks and leaving him free to spend all his time designing and dealing with high-level abstractions. Desired predictions of computer takeover had not occurred and fears along the line have been quieted. Articles anticipating the widespread use of computers by the architectural profession, however, continue unabated. Later in 1966, HP made its first computer, the 2116A. It was developed as a versatile instrument controller for HP's growing family of programmable, testable, and measurement products. It interfaced with a wide number of standard laboratory instruments, allowing customers to computerize their instrument systems. The 2116A also marked HP's first use of integrated circuits in a commercial product. As you can see, this computer is somewhat smaller than the ones made in previous decades, but is still very large compared to the computers of today. Also in the 1960s, major technology advancements that redefined the architecture practice were achieved. These advances originated with the military, automotive, and aerospace industries, working in close collaboration with universities and various research institutions across the globe. These collaborations resulted in the first CAD and CAM systems, developed for organizations' internal use. In 1976, Apple's first computer was designed by Steve Wozniak and marketed by his friend Steve Jobs. The Apple I is a single-board computer for hobbyists. With an order for 50 assembled systems in hand, and Pear started a new company, Apple Computer Inc. In all, about 200 of the boards were sold before Apple announced the follow-on Apple II a year later as a ready-to-use computer for customers, a model which sold in the millions for nearly 2 decades. Eventually, in the 1980s, software began evolving to render solid models and true 3D representations of product parts. Software manufacturers finally developed programs that could completely represent structures in three-dimensional space, so the designer didn't have to imagine how the part would look like in real life. The availability of 3D CAD led to the development of rapid prototyping and 3D printing. With this program, it made it easier for architects to make models more accurate. Once making curved shapes were very difficult to draw accurately, it became very simple to design. One of the earliest examples of this is Frank Gehry's model of the Lewis residence. Gehry's firm was considered to be responsible for the innovation of architectural software later on. In 1981, IBM's brand announced its own personal computer. The IBM PC revolutionized business computing by becoming the first PC to gain widespread adoption by industry. The IBM PC was widely copied and led to the creation of a vast ecosystem of software, peripherals, and other commodities for the use within the platform. Then, in 1984, Apple introduced the Macintosh. With a television commercial, the ad featured the destruction of Big Brother, a veiled reference to IBM through the power of personal computing found in a Macintosh. The Macintosh was the first successful mouse-driven computer with a graphical user interface, and it was based on the Motorola 68000 microprocessor. However, the PC explosion in the 1990s caused a host of digitally designed projects to appear on the architecture screen. William Macy's concrete framework, Greg Lynn's waffle typologies, and various attempts at surface manipulations happened simultaneously with the appearance of a powerful new software player, Autodesk. Since releasing its first version of AutoCAD in 1982, the company stepped it into the realm of 3D modeling and became a strong competitor in the field of digital representation, form finding, and system development. Since then, the architectural community has seen a cascade of software debuts. Overall, with the advancements of the computer, it has made the architect's life easier, even if at first architects were wary of accepting the changing times. Although hand drawings are considered pieces of art, a computer can do just as well and be more efficient, and it takes half the time to render than hand drawings do. Today, renders look more realistic than they have in the past. The programs keep getting better and better from years to year. What is good today will be outdated in 5 years from a new technology. For example, this video will be considered outdated in 3 years.